How's it going, guys? Jorge Cortez here once again with Larry Miller Dodge Peoria. Behind me, a 2020 Warlock. Let's take a look at it. From far away, you'll notice that a Warlock will have the Warlock badge on it. We'll have black wheel wells, 20-inch wheels, metal bumpers front and rear with this Ram grille. They used to be on the Rebel, but now it's inherited by the Warlock. Those headlights are built-in LEDs with halogen projection. Down here we have LED fog lights. This one also has the tow hooks, even though it's a two-wheel drive. Yes, you can find the Warlock in four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. Moving to the rear, you'll notice the black bumper. It's also a metal bumper. This one here happens to have backup sensors as well, and you see it has a towing bracket and the dual pipes, so this one does have a Hemi built into it. Now, part of the Warlock package is that you get the black emblems, backup camera. When you have a tow package, you have a 4-point and a 7-point connection. Black badges for Ram 1500, 5.7 Hemi, and yes, this is a classic 1500 nowadays. Let's take a look at the inside. And here's your key. Let's start it up. All right, guys. So from here, well, first it was getting a little hot, so let's turn on the AC. This is your fan speed. This is your temperature. And this is the direction of the air. So let's keep it a little bit cold. There we go. So now, this is an automatic transmission. You don't have a shifter here. You don't have one there. You have a dial right there. Is that quick? Park, drive, neutral, reverse. And when you put it in reverse, there's your backup camera. As you move your steering wheel, you also move those lines so that you always line up straight to a trailer or to a parking spot. All right, so here we have your cluster. So on the left hand of the steering wheel, you have these arrows. Those arrows will change the display back there. So let's go ahead and show you that. So from here, you can see you have a digital speedometer. We're facing north, 76 degrees, 93 miles on the odometer. So then the way to control that is this. You press back and you can go up or you can go down. So we were in speedometer. Let's go to fuel economy screen. To select it, you press that arrow. So with 93 miles on the odometer, obviously we haven't really test driven this one that far. So everything that we see here is from test driving. And in such driving, we have 12.2 miles per gallon average with 140 miles of range before we run completely out of gas, based on half a tank, but also based on 12.2 miles per gallon. So in other words, the better fuel economy you get average, the more range you'll have. But again, you should drive this a little bit more on the freeway to get a better balance between street and freeway. So now let's get back out of that. Your trip odometer A, you can reset all that by pressing this arrow. You go back, trip odometer B, you can select it by pressing that arrow to reset, just like that. Messages, so the first thing you'll see will be the message box. If there's anything wrong with the truck, tire pressure is low, or you need an oil change, that is the first screen that will pop up. So far we have nothing, it's a brand new truck. Vehicle information, you select it with this arrow. So anything you want to know under the hood is there. Your tire pressures, for example. So if a tire needs air, you'll know exactly which corner to put air in and what PSI to bring it up to. You see the arrows that go up and down there. That means that you can go up and down here too. So engine hours, gauge summary, battery voltage, oil life, oil pressure, anything you want to know, transmission. So let's go ahead and go back out of that. Again, digital speedometer. You can change that to kilometers by simply pressing that in case you go to Mexico or Canada. and you're listening to Sirius Satellite Radio station, The Joint. So let's take a look at that next.
And forward. Sirius XM.
So now, as you change the channel, you change the display, or you can do it with the touchscreen. See? Or you can just tune directly to channel, I don't know, 51. Or whatever you want to listen to. Now, this is your standard 6-speaker system, but the cool thing about the new Ram trucks is that they have a lot of material around the cab to insulate road noise, to insulate wind noise, and overall outside environment. So that means that your radio, the acoustics of the radio, will actually sound better than they should. So not bad at all. See, and you also have an equalizer. So if you want to hear more bass response, more mid-range, or more treble, you can adjust that accordingly. So that's really cool. This one has satellite radio, so that means that you get it for 1 year. Other manufacturers, you get it for maybe 3 months, 6 months, if anything, right? So we're done with that. Let's go back to the radio. We got AM, FM satellite, or you can go to media and you can connect a USB device, auxiliary cable, or simply play music through Bluetooth from your phone, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you may have. And then of course it has Bluetooth. For Bluetooth, you have microphone right here and microphone right there. So it'll always be a nice and clear voice. You don't need to yell or scream, and really good connection nowadays. So that's your 3.5-inch touchscreen, and again, this is the same display that will show you the backup camera. Big volume control knob, big tuner dial there too, so it's nice and easy. Modern, but at the same time pretty classic, right? Your AC controls there, traction control, tow haul mode. You can turn off your backup sensors in case you're towing a trailer, you want to deactivate those. You have a drawer here to fill it up with junk, right? A normal socket for power source, or a direct USB. Here you have a place to put your Oakley, right? Your regular backup mirror, nothing special about this one, straightforward. Back to the steering wheel, this is where you find your cruise control. We didn't talk about that earlier, but there's your cruise control, so it is included. Automatic headlights, and you can tell that because you have this little dome. That little dome is a sensor for daylight, nighttime, so you don't even have to turn off your lights. Just leave it in auto and forget it, right? This is a 6-passenger setup, so essentially this becomes a jumper seat. See, so you have 6 seat belts. Over here you have a cover for storage 1. You have an actual glove box for storage 2. And the last thing I want to touch on is that the new trucks are a little bit taller than they used to, especially this one with the 20-inch wheels, and it's only a 2-wheel drive. So you can imagine the 4-wheel drives are a little bit taller in the front, but to help with that, you have handles in every single corner of the truck. So in a lot of cases, you can get in them without having to add side steps. If you're older, if you're a little kid, or if you're just a little bit shorter than most. All right, so now let's go for a quick test drive. First thing you want to make sure is that you're not in kilometers. So let's go ahead and change that right now. Miles per hour. Is that it's a very smooth ride. We're the only manufacturers that does not use leaf springs for the 1500s. So we have a coil spring system with different resistance. So when you're empty, it'll be nice and smooth, almost like driving a car. But then when you're actually loaded and you're carrying a pallet full of bricks, for example, it'll still be a nice smooth rebound. See? It's definitely worth test driving. If you've never driven a Ram truck, one of the newer ones, just for the suspension alone, you should do that. Alright guys, so next I want to show you a U-turn. As long as traffic allows you, look how easy it is to do a U-turn in a Ram truck. Look at that. The same thing goes with our 2500s and even our 3500s. Now acceleration, it's a V8, remember? 395 horsepower. Just like that, I'm doing 70. I better slow it down. It's miles per gallon. See how smooth the truck is. It's hard to capture. You really have to drive the truck. That was a very smooth rebound. Where that car in front of us, you should have seen it move because the angle of that turn, it's not the nicest. It's just nice to drive a truck. Nice, smooth ride, plenty of room, quiet, powerful. The thing about the truck becomes your family vehicle. Young families, they don't want to drive minivans. They don't want to drive SUVs in most cases, but they need a truck. 4 full doors, room in the bed for hauling things around. Especially when you buy a house, you know, you gotta have a truck, and who wants to borrow a truck, right? So this is the truck, the vehicle of choice for the new families. Acceleration. That was fun. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. That was the Warlock. In this case, quad cab 1500 with the Hemi. And this is Jorge Cortez for Larry Miller Dodge Peoria. See you next time.